Go ahead, try to delete Microsoft Edge. Not disable it, not hide it, actually delete it from your Windows machine. Most people don't even think to try, and the ones who do, they find out pretty quickly that Windows has something to say about that. Because Edge doesn't just sit on your computer like a normal app. It breathes with the operating system. It's woven into the fabric of Windows itself. And once you start pulling on that thread, you realize this isn't just a browser story. It's a story about who actually controls your computer, you or Microsoft. Let's go back to the beginning. When Microsoft launched Edge in 2015, the tech world mostly shrugged. It was supposed to replace Internet Explorer, that slow, aging relic that became the butt of every tech joke on the internet. And for a while, Edge was fine, nothing special. Users ignored it. Chrome kept dominating. Firefox held its ground. Edge had something like 2% of the browser market a few years after launching. 2%. For a browser baked into the most widely used desktop operating system on the planet, that number was an embarrassment. So in 2020, Microsoft did something drastic. They scrapped the old Edge engine entirely and rebuilt it from the ground up using Chromium, the same open-source engine that powers Google Chrome. Overnight, Edge became a genuinely competitive browser. Fast, stable, compatible. And Microsoft pushed it hard. They made it the default. They added features. They integrated it deeper into Windows than any browser had ever been integrated before. And that's when things started to get interesting and, depending on who you ask, a little alarming. Here's where the story gets its first twist. Try uninstalling Edge the normal way. Go to Settings, go to Apps, find Microsoft Edge, and you'll notice there's no uninstall button. It's just not there. Microsoft literally removed the option. Edge is classified as a system component, not a regular application, which means Windows treats it like a piece of the OS itself. You can use command line workarounds, third-party tools, even registry edits to strip it out. But the moment Windows pushes a major update, Edge is back. It reinstalls itself quietly, without asking, like it never left. And to a lot of users, that feels less like a feature and more like a trap. Now pause for a second, because you might be thinking, okay, lots of companies bundle software. Apple does it, Google does it. What makes this different? And that's a fair question. But here's what separates Microsoft's approach from the rest. Edge isn't just installed on Windows. Edge is Windows in meaningful ways. The Start menu search, powered by Edge. The Windows Widgets panel, Edge. The default PDF reader, Edge. Cortana, before Microsoft scaled it back, Edge. When you click a link from certain Microsoft apps, Windows actively resists opening it in your preferred browser. It opens Edge instead. Microsoft has coded these handoffs directly into the OS, and untangling them requires a level of technical knowledge most everyday users simply don't have. And there's real money behind this. Let's talk about Bing for a minute. Because Edge isn't just a browser, it's a delivery system for Microsoft's search engine. Every time Edge sends a user to Bing, Microsoft earns advertising revenue. Every AI-powered Copilot query in the browser, every search suggestion, every news tile in the Edge new tab page, it all feeds a revenue engine worth billions. According to Microsoft's own financial reports, the search and news advertising segment, the one propped up largely by Bing and Edge, generated over $12 billion in revenue in fiscal year 2023 alone. That number has been climbing year over year. So when Microsoft says Edge is deeply integrated for a better user experience, there's a much more specific kind of experience they're optimizing for the ad revenue experience. And this brings us to a moment in history that should sound familiar, because we've been here before. In the late 1990s, Microsoft was hauled in front of the U.S. Department of Justice for doing something remarkably similar with Internet Explorer. They bundled it with Windows, made it nearly impossible to remove, and used the operating system's dominance to strangle competition. The case became one of the most significant antitrust battles in tech history. Microsoft was found to have violated antitrust laws. The company was briefly ordered to be broken apart before that ruling was overturned on appeal. And yet here we are, 25 years later, watching a new browser get stitched into Windows so tightly that removing it triggers an automatic reinstall. Now let's flip the script entirely. Let's talk about Linux. Because if you want to understand what a different philosophy looks like in practice, Linux is the clearest example. On a Linux system, the browser is just software. You install what you want, remove what you don't, and the operating system doesn't have an opinion about it. Your search defaults don't get quietly overridden. Your file associations stay where you put them. Nobody is routing your queries through a proprietary search engine to monetize your attention. The contrast is stark, and it's why Linux has become a genuine refuge for users who feel like Windows has crossed a line even though Linux requires a learning curve most everyday users aren't ready for. But here's the uncomfortable truth that most people don't want to sit with. The reason Microsoft can do this isn't just because they built Windows. It's because Windows has an installed base of over 1.4 billion active devices worldwide. That kind of scale creates what economists call a switching cost. The pain and friction of leaving a platform is so high that most users never do, no matter how frustrated they get. Microsoft knows this. They've known it for decades. And Edge isn't the only way they use that leverage. It's just the most visible one right now. The ecosystem trap is real. Your work files are in OneDrive, your emails run through Outlook, your productivity software is Microsoft 365. Your IT department mandates Windows. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, Edge installs itself back onto your machine after every major update, and you just sort of let it happen. Because the alternative is a level of technical resistance most people don't have time for. So where does this go from here? Microsoft isn't slowing down. If anything, the integration is getting deeper. Copilot. Their AI assistant is now being woven into Edge, into Windows Search, into the taskbar itself. Microsoft is betting big on AI as the next platform shift, and Edge is the browser they plan to use to own that experience on the desktop. Regulators in the European Union have taken notice. Under the Digital Markets Act, Microsoft has been forced to make it easier for EU users to change default browsers and apps. But those protections don't apply in the United States, where regulatory pressure on big tech has been slower and less consistent. And that's the real question underneath all of this. Not, is Edge a good browser? Because honestly, technically, it's fine. The question is whether it's acceptable for an operating system to reinstall software you deleted, route your searches through its own engine without clear consent, and use your computer's defaults as a revenue mechanism, all while making it deliberately difficult to opt out. That's not a browser decision, that's a power decision. The next time Windows reinstalls Edge after you removed it, don't just sigh and move on. Recognize what you're actually looking at. You're looking at a company telling you, in plain technical language, that some choices on your own machine aren't yours to make. And whether you're okay with that or not, well, that's the question worth asking. If you found this deep dive worth your time, hit subscribe. We break down the tech industry stories that look simple on the surface, but get a lot more complicated once you start pulling the thread. There's plenty more where this came from.